Hello Internet, Lou here. I thought I would take a look today at openSUSE 12.1. Now I normally don't do distro reviews like this. I think there's a ton of people already on YouTube doing these very same type of reviews, so I tend to kind of let them do their thing and then kind of just give you guys my thoughts and opinions on things. But I really was impressed when I installed openSUSE 12.1 here in a virtual machine, because I think they have got it right when it comes to producing a polished, customized version of GNOME Shell. And so I wanted to show you guys some things that I really like about openSUSE 12.1. This is not going to be a very in-depth overview of every little feature, but just kind of the highlights of the things that I really like. Now, first of all, as you see here, I got it loaded up in a VM. What I like is they didn't mess with any of the way that GNOME Shell looks. I think that the appearance of GNOME Shell is gorgeous. I think it's beautiful. I don't think they need to mess with it at all, and I really like the fact that they kept that the same. Some of the things that they did do is when you come over here to kind of like your own little personal, I guess you could say it's almost like a me menu, you'll see that they've added the power off option and the hibernate option. Really like that. They built that right into the menu. I think it looks really good. It's tastefully done. And that was one of the biggest complaints I think that a lot of people had. Now, as far as software is concerned, they've got some pretty cool little things in here as far as software. I installed Flash, but they use Banshee by default instead of Rhythmbox, which I'm a Banshee user. I prefer that. Let's see here. They got gBrainy installed. I didn't even know that this particular application existed until I saw it here in openSUSE. It's the GNOME phone manager. Now, I did try to install this under Fedora, and there's some bugs in it, some GTK2 and GTK3 type of bugs that they've got. So it didn't work in Fedora, but it works here in openSUSE. So that's pretty cool. Let's see here. They've got LibreOffice installed by default, which is nice. Main menu for editing things that appear here in your application list. You're going to notice that through openSUSE that there is a lot of tools. They give you a ton of under-the-hood customization options that I've never seen in any other distribution, and I'm super impressed. I don't get impressed very easily, but this is my first full openSUSE experience, so they may have had these in previous releases, but I'm really impressed with the customization options they have and a lot of the under-the-hood enhancements that they have as well. So they've got some network tools there, some standard games. They include XChat, and then they've got Yast here. Yast is the graphical front end for their package manager, and we'll get into that a little bit more. So what I like is the fact that they didn't overbloat you with a ton of software. They put in kind of the nuts and bolts of a lot of the things that you're going to need, and I really like that. I like to be able to just choose my own software instead of having to go through the hassle of uninstalling a lot of things that I may not want or need. They provide you kind of with a base system, a couple added little extras, and then that's it. I really like that. If you open up GNOME Tweak Tool here, you're going to be able to see some of the things that they added. Again, not a lot, but I think just enough. If you come under the shell extensions, by default they only have got one installed here, the alternate status menu extension, and I believe, oh wow, look at that. Oh, I clicked the one for Fedora. That's to enable the hibernate and the power off feature. So there you go with that. Now, where things get extremely interesting, at least for me, is when you come over here and go to System Settings. Now this is going to look very similar to, again, if I were to come over to my Fedora System Settings. Again, it's as you can see here without covering me up, a lot of the same things, very similar. Now, again, where things get interesting is when you scroll down here and you click on Yast. It's going to prompt you for a password. Now, these particular options right here, the administrator settings, there is a ton of stuff in here, and this is where openSUSE for me really comes alive. You go to your add-on products. Now under add-on products here, it's going to load anything that you installed or added on that didn't come, as far as like applications are concerned, that didn't come with openSUSE to begin with. Okay, so that's pretty cool. Pretty cool way to manage all your add-ons. Then you've got a media check option here. You can check the integrity of an ISO file, or if you've downloaded, say for instance, a copy of openSUSE, and you want to verify or validate the DVD or CD for errors. You can do that with this tool. Pretty cool. You've got an online update feature. This is very interesting. It's checking for available updates online. Okay, now I've already installed some of these things here, but this is really, really cool. This is online updates or patches for particular pieces of software that's installed in your system, and that you can update through this little interface through Patches Online. Really, really awesome. Haven't seen this implemented like this in any other distribution. I really like this. Then you've got this package search that allows you to search for particular packages, kind of give you a little brief description. Then you go to here to software management. It's going to bring you into YAST. And this is openSUSE's version, a graphical front end for their package manager. Now, what this reminds me a lot of is like Ubuntu Tweak. They've got everything nicely categorized over here. For instance, you've got your GNOME category, your KDE, XFCE, and so on. Then they've got all the different subcategories like multimedia. You got graphics, games, network, office. Pretty nice. I do like this. It is, I think, laid out better than, say, Fedora's package manager, what they have here for Fedora. I'll show you. The Add Remove Software Fedora. As you can see, this is very, very simple. Definitely, I think, leaves a little bit to be desired. I think openSUSE takes it a step farther. I think the layout is a little bit better, and it's a little bit more user-friendly than the Add Remove software in Fedora. I like that. And you've got your software repositories feature. It's going to give you a list of all your current software repositories. It's going to give you a lot of ways to edit these. It's going to give you the GPG keys for all of these particular repositories. So I found that really nice. So that's the repository feature here. Under hardware, you've got a fingerprint reader. You've got hardware information, so you can look up all the particulars about your hardware. They've got this nice feature here for infrared devices. If your setup has the ability to read like an infrared, say, remote. Joystick, you do any type of gaming, you can configure your joystick. This is really nice. This allows you to, this mouse feature here, allows you to look through a list of mouses and be able to select what type of mouse you have. I really like that. And then you've got some of your other standard things: printer, scanner, sound. They've got a TV card option in here. I really, really like that. And now under the system category, you've got bootloader. I found this really, really cool. Under the bootloader option, it shows you here, under the bootloader installation tab, what bootloader you're running. This particular installation is running Grub. However, you can install these other types of bootloaders, and then you can install you can choose where the bootloader is installed. This particular one is installed from the boot partition. This is in a VM. I normally would install Grub on the master boot record, but for this purpose, I just let the VM do its thing, and I installed it there on the boot partition. Then you can go to bootloader options. I like this. You can change the timeout. For instance, when you boot your computer, it's going to load the grub screen and then allow you to choose, say, a different kernel if you wanted to, or a different operating system. And it gives you 8 seconds before it actually will begin the full boot up process. This allows you to dial down that time or even increase it if you wanted to. You can do this by manually editing your grub file, but it's really nice to be able to just have a nice little graphical option to do this. So I thought that was pretty neat. Let's see here. You've got a system configure way to configure your system here with this option. A really cool little tool like that. Here's one that I really like, the kernel settings. Again, I've never seen this before in any other distribution, and it allows you to here's your I/O schedulers. They've got the CFQ scheduler, the NOOP scheduler, deadline. What I was thinking about doing is putting a custom kernel together with additional schedulers for both CPU and for I/O, and I wanted to see if it was going to populate that in this tool, like adding the BFQ I/O scheduler, to see if that would populate there. Again, I've never fully run openSUSE up until this particular point, so I'm not quite sure. But if it would, I think that would be awesome. I'll let you choose it on the fly, especially the CPU scheduler. If it allowed you to do that, I think that would be amazing. Here's some really cool things. They've got their own built-in partitioner. Again, this is not, best of my knowledge, it's not gparted. It's their own. I chose to format in the default file system format, which is Btrfs, and you know, I really like that. System backup. Again, I think they're capitalizing on the Btrfs file system because of its system snapshot features, and I think that there's a few other distributions that wanted to kind of default to the Btrfs file system, but didn't do it because they don't quite feel it's there where it needs to be yet. But openSUSE gives you the option to install different file systems, like for instance ext4 if you wanted to, but it is defaulting to the Btrfs. At least that's my experience for the installation that I did, and I think that the snapshot feature is pretty cool. So they include a nice feature here to back up your system if you wanted to, or another feature here to restore your system. Really neat. I like that. We've got an option in here to see what systems, services rather, are running on your system. Really nice. Again, I mean, look at all of these features that they've included here under the administrator settings. This is a ton. I mean, this really lets you control so much of your system. I'm really impressed with all these administrator settings that they've added. They've integrated it very nicely with GNOME 3.2. Now here under you got network devices, network settings here. Okay. Yeah. Warning. So that's pretty nice. We've got the network services. You can edit or change your host names. You've got look at all this stuff. This is really cool. Samba server set up in there already. The Windows domain membership is set up in there already. NFS client, NIS client, mail server, tons and tons of different network services that you can edit and modify. You've got a firewall in here. You've got your security setting. This is pretty nice too, actually. Sudo. This allows you to configure sudo with a graphical user interface instead of having to use you know, an editor to modify the sudo file. Virtualization, it's got a nice some tools in here for virtualization. And then down here, vendor driver CD. Now, from my reading, I think that this has been an option in openSUSE for a while, but for instance, if your graphics card is an NVIDIA and they supply if they supply drivers, Linux drivers, and you have them on a disk, you can install them with this option. I'm fairly certain that that's what that's for. And over here too, actually, under security and users, you've got your user and group management feature. Really nice as well. So, you know, there is a ton of stuff under administrator settings here on openSUSE that I am really, really impressed with. I like that a lot. So I think my hat's off to you, openSUSE team. I think you did a wonderful job here, giving the user a lot of control over their system, a lot of features, a lot of options, and you added integrated these so well using a nice graphical interface, as opposed to, you know, the geek that opens up a command line and does all of these things, you know, manually in a command line. You've added a nice polished graphical interface feature for the common user to be able to really control their system, and you've done it in a way that integrates very nicely and in a way that I haven't seen anyone else do it. So really well done. Again, some of the things I really like about openSUSE is they've left, you know, GNOME alone in terms of the visual aesthetic. I really like that they've done that. I like that they've added, you know, just again, not a lot of extensions. I believe that there's more that you can enable by enabling some extra repositories. You can install those, but you know, they've added a really common sense one, which is the power off and hibernate feature here in the menu. And I like the fact that they don't bloat you down with a ton of pre-installed software. They really give you a base system and allow you to install whatever it is that you would like. I really do like that as well. Yast is pretty nice as far as a graphical front end for their package manager is concerned. And all of the customization features and options that you have, I think they integrated them very, very well into GNOME 3.2. openSUSE is available to be run on the Tumbleweed repositories, which would actually turn this into a rolling release. openSUSE normally has an 8-month release cycle, and if you wanted to switch this over to the Tumbleweed repos, you can do a system update using, I believe the pronunciation is Zypper. You can use Zypper to update your system and continually keep it at the most current version using Tumbleweed. So this is a very brief overview of openSUSE 12.1. Now, one thing I didn't get to is I believe it's called OwnCloud, which is openSUSE's implementation of a really secure cloud service, similar to like a Dropbox. I'll do a quick check here just to make sure I'm not. Yep, OwnCloud. So I'm not butchering the name. That's openSUSE's answer to a secure cloud service. So I didn't get into OwnCloud. I think that's a whole nother video possibly, but you know, they offer a cloud service as well. And then of course a really, really neat thing that openSUSE does. Actually, you know what? Let's do. You've got SUSE Studio. This allows you to build your own custom version of openSUSE. You can add any type of packages that you would like. You can add any type of custom wallpapers. You can really build your own SUSE distribution of Linux. And so if you normally install a whole certain type of set of certain packages, if you wanted to put your own version of openSUSE together, all of the, say, custom wallpapers you normally use, packages you normally have installed, you can come to SUSE Studio, create an account, and create your own custom version of openSUSE. That is a really, really cool feature. I wish a lot of the other distributions allowed you to do the same thing, but really like that as well. So again, this is a brief overview of openSUSE 12.1. A lot of the features that I really enjoy, a lot of the things that I think they really did right, and hope you guys liked the video. Until next time, we'll see you later.